What up? Oh, that poor old guy over there. Let me show you. Over there. That's a visiting nurse. I don't know what else you call them. Come to your house. They're there all the time, morning, noon, and night. Different ones come in. It's just one of them things in a retirement community that you should know. I mean, living up north, it's one of them things I never really thought about. I mean, if we saw something like that in our neighborhood, we would all would wonder what's going on. You know, what happened over there, and we would get together and we'd find out. You know, and if they needed any help, then we would try to help them. But here, it's just kind of like part of the life because everybody here is elderly, and things like that can happen anytime. And it's a mindset. You have to just know that. I think that's the reason, one of the reasons why I don't really get out anymore to visit a lot of people is because I just don't. I don't like saying goodbyes to people. You know what I mean? So I'll have a beer with them and talk to them and all that kind of stuff. And that's about as far as it goes. It's just a handful of people here that I associate with regularly because I just like them. And most of them, ironically, most of those people are followers here on YouTube. They've been watching me and getting information from me and Sue before they actually bought a house and moved here. But then after they moved here, most of your subscribers, once they move here, you don't really hear from them again. They just kind of out doing their own thing and disappear. But there's a handful of them that's remain loyal to my channel and Sue and we meet them once in a while. We've had lunch with them and coffee with them, a beer with them, and things like that. We chat back and forth, and those are the very few people really that has my phone number. It's not that I'm being snobbish. I can't put my phone number out there for everybody. It's not that I have anything against any of you people, but you never know who else is watching this. It's these kids and weirdos. They get your number. Next thing you know, you're just getting all kind of weird phone calls. So I don't do it because I had a suggestion from somebody, and it isn't something I hadn't thought about. I've thought about this before. If they could call in on a WNL show, it was just a suggestion they had to do the show in a different segment of the show where we have like, you know, some call-ins. And I said, yeah, I thought about that, but I'm not giving my phone number out. That's the problem. So then the idea was, well, maybe I can get a I don't know, a payphone where you pay for, say, I don't know, an hour for whatever it is, and I use that phone number on the show because that phone I would shut off after the show's over and I would never use it again except for the next show. And I have thought about that, but that's just another extra expense. I pay between all the different things that I have to pay for to even put on that show. I got enough. And not that I wouldn't like to do a call in once in a while. I really would. I always try to figure out a way of doing it and getting around that extra expense. Because first you got to buy the phone, then you got to buy time, and I don't know what the time costs, but somebody's told me that it can get pretty expensive depending on where you go and what you get and so on and so forth. So I just don't mess with it. By the way, we're sitting outside. I want to give you fair warning. It's a hot day today, but it don't seem like it's as hot today as it was yesterday. I see a lot of clouds in the sky, so that's probably helping. If this thing overheats and shuts off, I'll just apologize now because it did this a couple of times out here on a hot day. So we'll just let it go at that. My favorite tea in my, where's it at? Where's the sign? In my Village's golf car cup. Sweet tea made with that sugar cane. I really like that stuff. Where's the hole? I can't find the hole. That's what she said. All right, let's see who's on here and who ain't on here. Oh my gosh, I thought I had you. I guess I don't. Where am I at? Oh, there I am. Okay. Muskie says hi. John Hogan says hey. Hope you and Sue are well. We're doing good. Sue's gone right now. She left me a note on the counter. I slept in late. I was up late last night. Um, Editing and uploading and downloading and the Friday news. The Friday news is done. The commercial free news for Patreon is done. I'll get that up sometime Friday early. I don't know when early, but sometime early Friday. And the YouTube Friday news with the commercials is done, and it'll be up normal Friday. I'll warn you now, on the Friday news, there was a lot of news this week. I could have skipped a lot of it. I don't even know how long the news was. I didn't even look. I'm sorry. I should have looked. But it's fairly long because there was just a lot of stuff, and I didn't want to leave anything out, and so I put it in there. And I also put in the latest arguments and stuff about these little white crosses around here. After a while, I'm going to quit reporting them because I just think that whole scenario there is kind of goofy, and it just gets boring after a while. Don't you get bored of hearing about it every week? I do, and I'm the one doing it, and I get bored with it. So anyway, there's some updates on there and some things. So it's a fairly long news, is what I'm trying to say. And bring your popcorn and bring your Coke. But it'll be up. It's done. Also today at 3 o'clock this afternoon, I believe. What is today? Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, I think it's today. There'll be a new video on the RV channel, and if that don't get up to 2,000 subscribers ASAP, and I mean soon, I'm just putting a warning out there because I've mentioned this 2 or 3 times. That channel's just not growing at all, at all. The electric generator or solar generator that I was going to give away, I'm just going to do away with that and say I'm not giving it away, not on that channel, but I'll probably bring it over to this channel and give it away to somebody here because this channel's growing. You people are making my channel grow, and that channel's just simply not growing. And I'm too old to waste my time doing a lot of work on that channel, and it's not going to grow. So I'll bring it over to this channel where it is growing, and I'll give it away to you guys. Marcia says hi. Hi, Marcia. Glad you're here. Are you the only moderator I've got this time? Kevin says hello from soggy Indiana. It must be raining up there, huh? Well, that's okay. I mean, it's that time of year. Farmers plant their crops. They're probably done planting by now. And then you need that rain, to feed the world. So that's okay. We're getting rain here every day too. I haven't watered my grass in, geez, I don't even know, a couple of months now. That's one thing that the new subscribers, that come down here. That's one of the things they ask about all the time. How often should I water my grass? Well, that's a personal thing and depends on your yard and the type of grass you've got and all that kind of stuff. But basically, during the wet season like it is right now, where it literally rains every afternoon, I don't never water my grass. It's shut off. I don't even pay for it because it's shut off. There's no need for it. If you're getting rain every day, I don't see the point of watering the grass. It's just a waste of water. And it's funny that in a new neighborhood, because the contractors has the waters set because you have new sod, so you really need to keep it really watered really well until that sod takes root, and then you can kind of curb your watering when you want to. But as of right now, when it's a brand new yard, you really need to water that and keep it watered so that sod will take root. Your yard sod in any brand new home in the villages is only warranted for 30 days. After that, you own that grass. But for the first 30 days, if you see a problem anywhere, you need to address it quick, and I mean quick. Don't wait around, because on that 31st day, you're out of luck, and they won't do anything. I found that out by accident. But yeah, I had a problem here, and the guy told me when I called him in, because I called him like on day 27, I think. And he came out and he looked at it and he said, "Yeah, we'll take care of it." He said, "You're still under warranty." I said, "Well, how long is this grass under warranty for?" I took it that it was under warranty for at least a year. And he said, "Oh, no, no, no." He said, "Everything is different." He said, "Your grass and the installation of the grass is only warranted for 30 days. And then there's other things that's warranted for a year. And then there's other things that's warranted for 10 years. That kind of thing." Well, I didn't know that. And when I found that out, because it didn't like they advertise it, they don't give you a big advertising sheet saying your grass is warranted for 30 days. So you have to know these things. And so I kind of pass it along to you people that's thinking about buying here, giving you fair warning. Make these little lists. First thing to take care of is the grass. Make sure it's okay. Make sure it's not dying. Make sure you don't have high spots in the drain areas. Usually it's between the houses. That's where the water drains through on a heavy rain. Make sure there's no hump in there causing that water to back up and puddle, say in the back of your house somewhere. And that was my issue. It was puddling in the backyard because I had a big hump in between the two houses causing it to back up. And they had to come dig that hump out and resod it. Wasn't a big deal. A couple hours they were done, but that's how I found out you got to get this thing done within the first 30 days or it's on you. By the way, Kevin, did I thank you on the last Porch Settin? I think you sent us a super chat. Was that you? Appreciate it. If I didn't thank you, I'm sorry. I try to thank everybody for them, because most of the super chats that I get, even on Porch Settin, I put it in the till in there for next month's W&L show to make the prize even bigger to give away. So that's where that went. If you give that, if you didn't and somebody else did, well, I'll thank them too. But I don't remember who it was. Cindy G, hi, Cindy. Vincent Stevens, how you doing? William McGill, hi. Cindy G, have you heard from Mr. Jesus? Yeah, on the last Porch Settin, I think he was on here for a short time. And did he send me an email or was it a comment? Anyway, there was a little comment or an email I got. Said that he's doing better. I think he said he was home. Getting ready to go to rehab. If things were going along okay, he was getting ready to go to rehab, I think. But he said he's doing okay. He's still around. He's still kicking, and he's still recovering. But he's doing okay. Stephen Wilburn, how you doing? Jim Brown says hi. Elizabeth Chamberlain says greetings from Chicago. You guys going through a heat wave up there in Chicago too? It seems like everybody in the Midwest right now is going through a heat wave of 90 plus degree temperatures. For us, it's kind of normal. But, and I know Indiana gets 90 some degree temperatures also. I remember getting them up there. But it seems like it's extended. It's a longer period of 90 degree weather. Strong Woman says, hi everyone. Get on over there, you little bugger. Florence Keenan says hello. Mooski says love these Porch Settins. Well, I'm glad you do. I'm always trying to come up with something different that everybody else is doing, and to hit that one thing that everybody likes that'll cause the channel to grow. That's the challenge. I can get on here and there'll be a handful of you that really like it, but is there enough people that like it that comes through, surfing the internet and bumps into my channel accidentally? By the way, I don't know how any of that works. I don't know how to get your channel broadcasted or advertised out there to more people. If any of you know how to work these interwebs that way, let me know, because I just don't know how to do it. There's other people I think that do know how to grow it, and their channel grows, it seems like, overnight. And mine, I've been working 7.5 years on this thing full time. I'm growing every month, but it's just little dribs and drabs. It's very slow, you know. And I'm not complaining about it, but I still feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be at all. And maybe it's me. Maybe it's my personality, and I'm just doing things wrong. Uh-oh, who's this? Yard work must be really paying good for that guy. That's probably a $75,000, $80,000 pickup truck he's got pulling that $400 trailer. Jerry Bell says, "Hey y'all, hey Jerry." Marcia says, "Pick me." Well, if you're talking about that solar generator, when I bring it over this channel, I don't know how I'm going to give it away. Maybe I'll give it away as a W&L prize. I don't know. I don't like giving away too big of stuff on there right now. And I used to give away prizes all the time, like cameras, and I don't even remember what all, stuff like that. And I like doing that. But because of the COVID thing and the gas prices now, shipping has went astronomical. Just to ship something a little... I gave away a magazine here a while back, which I do that all the time on Patreon, give away the Villages magazines. And whoever got it, and I forget who got it, they lived down by Finney area, in the newer area down there. So I thought, well, I'll just, drop it in the mailbox. So anyway, Sue said, well, I'm going over to Wildwood to check out our P.O. box. I have a P.O. box over in Wildwood, and the reason why we do that, sometimes somebody wants to send Sue something, like a real nice lady one time actually hand made a blanket for Sue, because she noticed that Sue sometimes would sit in the lanai and have a blanket over her legs. She's always cold in the wintertime. So she handmade her a blanket. So it comes in a fairly decent sized box, and she mailed it. So that's why we got the P.O. box. It just kind of works out better that way for handling. Here in the Villages, they can do it, but sometimes it gets a little hectic down there to do that. It just does. Even Amazon, they don't like to leave stuff down at the post office down here, our local post office station for our neighborhood. They like to leave it at your house. Even the small packages, they'll bring them up to the house and hang them on the doorknob. And I even asked them one time, I said, you guys could always leave it down at the post office if this is a problem. So no. We would much rather leave it at the house, because then we know it gets delivered. So there must be something going on a little bit. I don't even know what it is, but just by the way he said that, I'm just thinking some few things has gotten lost or given to the wrong person. I don't know. So that's why the P.O. box comes into effect. And if you don't know, down in the description box is my P.O. box address. Just for those of you that may want to know, it's in the description box below. I don't know if you can get to the description box on your TV set. I don't think so, because I can't figure it out on my TV if you can. There's one of the best motorcycles right there. The Goldwing. I know it's a foreign product, but I got to tell you, I had two of them. Wow, what a motorcycle. Very heavy though, so you have to really know what you're doing with it. But anyway, so we got that P.O. box just so things can be sent down there, and it's in a description box. I don't think you can get the description box on your television, but I think on your telephone you might be able to. I haven't really looked. I do know that on your computer it's easy peasy. Everything on YouTube seems like it's computer oriented. So on the computer, I mean, there's even a thing here that says description. You just click on that and it takes you right down to the description box, and everything's listed in there. About 4 YouTube channels that I can recommend for people to watch. Actually, they're friends of mine also. There's I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff in the description box. Where I get my music. What else is down there? I put things down there like 1 or 2 at a time. When I find something that I really believe in, I'll put it down there, and then I forget about it. But there's stuff down there. I can't remember what else down there, but I do know our P.O. box is down there. How to get to my Patreon page is a direct link to it is down there. How to get a direct link to my PayPal account I use that because when we do the thing for the Children's Wish Foundation, I really push the idea, if you want to put money into PayPal account, just put a little note saying this is for the kids, something like that. That way I always know that that's what that's supposed to be for. And you can go directly into the PayPal account and do that. There's stuff down there. So if you need an address or anything like that, just always go to the description box. Most of that stuff's in there. If you don't find it in there, then just email me. The email address is down there also. Just email me, and then I'll do my best to get back with you. Marcia says we lose power all the time because trees come down every time we get a thunderstorm. Oh, Marcia, I thought you lived in the villages, Marcia. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Okay. Problem we had in Indiana was, of course, you know, up there all the power lines are above ground, which is something I never liked. I never did like it. I just think it looks awful. It's just, you know, they say it's too expensive to put them underground. Well, I don't know if that's true or not. At first it may be, but if you can go 20 years and never have, you know, a problem, but then sometimes they do upgrade it, don't they? So they have to dig it all back up. I don't know. All I know is all the electric lines here are all underground, and we don't seem to have a big problem at all. Cars getting drunk and running into a telephone pole. We just don't seem to have that problem. Of course, it is a sandy soil here, and they don't have to go down very deep either, like they would up there. Okay, I can understand maybe what's going on there, but anyway, I thought you were down here. Carol Wee says, thanks, Skip and Sue, for coming by. Oh yeah, we went to her house yesterday. Says, I'm leaving my sprinklers on twice a day for now. Yeah, if you got new sod, yeah, you should make sure your yard is well watered for a while. I would say at least 30 days. You know, if you start seeing water running from your property out on the street and running down the street, that's too much water. So you can cut back. I wouldn't cut back on anything but the time. And find out if you can see what area is actually flooding. Is it the front yard? Is it zone 1? Is it zone 2, zone 3, zone 4? I think you had 5 zones. Kind of find out which zone is being overwatered. Odds are it'll be one of them zones that's directly between you and your neighbor, that little spot in there. They sometimes have those set up to run for half an hour, and that's way too much in between houses. Even when my yard was new, in between our houses, I cut mine down to 5 minutes, and my neighbor cut his down to 5 minutes because it oversprays right there really bad. And then when a guy comes along to mow your grass, it's muddy and it leaves a rut. So that's the kind of stuff we had here happen. Maybe not in your area, but here is what happened. Just keep an eye on it. There's just no need to water in the street. You know what I mean? We cut a lot of video down here at her new house. What the heck kind of model house was it? I forget. Was it called a sassafras? I'd never heard of it. Sassafras model, I think, that she bought. A designer home in a new village, DeLuna. I've never been in DeLuna before. And they're still building in there all over the place. So it's a brand new area. And so we got a chance to go in there and video the house. It's exactly the way it was, the way she bought it, brand new. And she was kind of pointing out a few things that she didn't like about it, but then she pointed out a lot of things she did like about it. So we did that video. I did a walk around like my normal stuff. Remember, I don't sell homes, so you're not going to see me doing standing out in the driveway with a shirt and tie on and going, you know, I don't sell homes here, and I'm not trying to sell homes here. I'm just showing you the difference in the models and what they do and all this and that. So, and she was there, so we had a chance to get her opinions about her own house, about some things she didn't like, and she pointed out. And so I got that video in there, and then when she gets done kind of fixing it up, which she'll never really be done fixing it up. But she has to get furniture. She has to do all of that stuff. And you have to get this thing done kind of in order. I think she wants to do her garage floor. Well, that's got to come first before you move in. Because once you start moving stuff into the garage, you're not going to be able to do the floor. It just won't happen. Do it now while it's clean, fresh, and everything. You know, whoever you use, get it done. And I know she's going to call the gutter guy. That don't need to be done like right now. You could do that whenever. But she's wanting to put in some new flooring. You really kind of need to do that right away, because once you start moving furniture in, doing the flooring can still be done. It's just a little bit more difficult. But it isn't something you have to wait for. I mean, you could actually go ahead and get you some furniture now. They will move that stuff around for you to put the floor in. So it isn't something you have to wait for, but if you could do it right away, it just makes things easier, that's all. Painting walls. She was talking about painting a couple of walls. So yeah, that would be good to do it now, really, because if you should happen to, you know, slop some paint on the floor, it isn't going to matter, because once they come in and put in some new flooring, it's going to cover all that. So it's kind of, you know, it's just a matter of staging things, and it's tough. Buying furniture is going to be a little tough, not because of the furniture, but because of delivery problems here. You may go out and find something somewhere, but you may end up waiting, who knows? You may end up waiting 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks just for delivery. There you go. There's another one. Whoops. There. I don't know if you can see it on the side. It says Barks and Bubbles, a mobile grooming, 352-426-4923. So if you got a dog or whatever that needs to have a bath and get his hair cut and get groomed out, that's just one of many mobiles that'll come to your house, and they got everything they need in that trailer right there. It's air conditioned. See the air conditioner on top of it? They'll take your dog inside that thing right there, and they'll give it a once over for you. And you don't even have to get out of your car and do it. That's the one thing I do enjoy here. There's so many things here that I try to caution people about, but there's so many things I do enjoy here is the fact you can have literally everything done at your house. Seriously, you don't never need to go anywhere. I can have groceries, and I can have groceries delivered to my house. I can have food from restaurants. What do they call it? DoorDash? It might be called DoorDash. I'm not sure. I've used it a couple times when Sue had her broken leg and was recovering. I'm not a cook. And well, Thanksgiving, I called Bob Evans. I said, can I get the family Thanksgiving dinner delivered to the house? Absolutely. She said, no problem. But there was like a $5 charge. So I said, yep, that's what I want. And so, I don't know, maybe an hour later, they come knocking on the door. This is during COVID, of course. And you tip them. It's all done on your app on the phone. You can give it to him, I suppose, when he comes to the house. Maybe that's what I should have did. I don't know. But I tipped the driver. Even though they charge you $5, it's still, you know, it's worth the tip to me. And so I took care of him. And yeah, we had dinner for 2. Actually, we had enough dinner for 4, but from Bob Evans for Thanksgiving dinner. So you can have all that kind of stuff done here, and that's one thing I do like. And I know you can probably do that at a lot of other places, but it's just one of them things here, conveniences here, that I do like. Debbie says it's getting hot and sticky here in Houston. Well, I don't doubt it, Debbie. Texas, it seems like it has like 2 seasons anymore. Hot and then winter. I mean, even 2 years ago, all the way down by Padre Island, they had snow and ice for like 3 or 4 days in a row. No water, no heat, no anything down there, because they're not used to that. So that's just kind of weird. My cousin got stuck in it, and I know some RVers that I email with and talk with on online. They were down there and they got stuck in it. They go down there in their RVs in the winter. They got stuck in it. Luckily we were here, but yeah, it's the weather is changing. You know, we're going to have just to learn to accept it. The weather's changing, and we're going to have to adapt to it. The other day, maybe I should have done this for some of the people here. I never really thought about it. Remember the lady I told you her husband passed away and she has to go to assisted living and she's going to put her house up for sale, and I didn't know how much she was going to sell the house for. I didn't really get involved with that. I don't ask those personal questions. Well, anyway, we found out she sold her house the first day. They put the house up for sale. They had a showing. Well, I should say they had a showing. Usually that showing is done within a few days of putting the house up for sale by the Villages. She went to Villages Real Estate Company. And on the showing that first day, the first person that came to the house, that walked through the house, bought the house. Full price. $419,900 is what she got out of it. And she already sold almost everything in the house. Well, one thing she offered me, and I just didn't, I think I even told you about that generator. You know what? I never even thought about it. You know what I should have done for 150 bucks? That's what I could have got it for, 150 bucks. I should have bought that, brought it home, and then got on here to people that come to my live channels. It's just another little incentive for people that come to my live shows to say, hey, if you're in Florida and you've thinking about getting a generator, here's a household generator. It was a big one. Here's a household generator that sells for $2,400 brand new, somewhere in that area, $2,200, whatever it was. And I'll give it to you for 150 bucks because that's what I paid for it. Just come and get it. I should have done that to help some of my new subscribers out. I'm sorry, I didn't think ahead. My mind didn't work that fast sometimes. Anyway, Carol's going to leave her sprinklers on twice a day until her grass gets taken root, and that's fine. Just watch that your water's not running off of your property, out into the street, and then down the road. Chester says, hey, Chester. Vin Void says, Skip, I'm a New York volunteer firefighter and I'll be going down for the grand opening of the First Responder Rec Center on July 27th. Would you be there? Probably not. I don't go down there all that much anymore. There's so many YouTubers down there. Then they all crawling over top of one another, and I find it really just kind of I don't know, distracting to have that many people down there, with cameras doing all this stuff. And so the odds are I'm not going to be going down there. What's this guy want? But I don't want to say never. You never know. I'm liable to wake up and say they're having a grand opening. But the odds are I'm not going to be there because what I don't know how they're going to do things there. Here's how it usually happens here. The developer's in charge of all of that. And generally, he'll have invitation only on a grand opening of something like that. I'm not going to get that invitation because the developer doesn't like my channel and what I say. He doesn't like the fact that I'm letting you guys know about kids living with parents and things like that. So I'm not going to get that invitation. So the odds are I'm not going to be there. If you're going to the grand opening, I'm guessing you've received an invitation. I'm never going to get that. I did get an invitation from the developer's offices once to go to some meeting they were having. I forget what it was about. It was one of them meetings where they want to get different people's opinions about the future of the villages. Where are we heading? Where are we going? What would you like to see next? What are we not doing that you think we should be doing? Those kinds of things. I was invited to one of those. I would have been more than glad to go to that because I had a couple of things that I thought was important that I could have brought up, Whether they actually do it or not, it's all about money and budgeting and everything. I don't know, but I would have went to that. So I answered that invitation. They send them out by email, by the way. They don't call you. They should, because they have all of our phone numbers. But they sent me an email, and I sent it back saying, basically, it was a very basic questions. This is what I do right here. I said, can I bring my camera and video? Simple question. And I left it at that. A week or two later, no answer, no answer, no answer. So I figured, well, that's the end of that. See, because everything has to be approved by him or his offices. Oh, well, you know, you hear noises, you just wonder what the heck is all that. And then I see, mowing. Anyway, so he's got to be approved by him. So I never got no answer. So I assumed, no, I'm not going to be able to go to that. He said no, because I have been refused a lot of things that I have asked for, and Village's employees has asked for, and the developers' offices have said no. Period. They don't never call me and say no. They don't never send an email to me and say no. What they do is they tell them no, and don't give him any response. So they can't email me or anything. But there's been a couple of people that I've met outside, bumped into them by accident, in a restaurant, in a store. See what I'm saying? And then I say, hey, whatever happened to when I sent that request in to you and everything? And they always kind of look around, see who's around. And they say, well, I won't say who, but they said I can't do that. They won't give me approval to do that. And that's how it is. His thumb is on everybody here that works for him. His thumb ain't on me. At one point it was when I worked for him, but it ain't on me. And, as a corporate executive, you have to be that way. Your thumb's got to be on your people to make sure they're not spilling the beans on you. Because people try to stab him in the back constantly, like the real estate people that work for them. I'm not telling you again, get your ass over there. I see you. I see you looking. I don't know if I can get this thing to focus on this guy or not down here. Nope, that's the wrong way. Whoops, wait a minute, he just took off running. Where'd he go? Oh, he went on the other side. Dang it. These things are very territorial, especially during breeding season. He came over here, and the way he was acting, they do these little push-ups, and this little thing flops out, and that's a warning. And I couldn't see anybody else here, but apparently he's chasing another lizard away because they all went running over there. Animals crack me up. I've actually found these lizards way up on top of my palm trees. They climb on the side of you all the way up there, and there's probably insects up there, and they eat well. Plus they can hide away from birds up there. But I've seen them in that palm tree. I've seen them in that palm tree. Most generally they're down here on the ground. They get in your planters. I got a couple old seashells we picked up when we were down at Naples down there at that one. I can't think of the name of that island out there. It's well known for seashells washing up. Anyway, we got a couple of big ones. I laid them over here, and they make their nests inside that seashell now. They've been doing it for years. They lay their eggs inside of it, and I just leave it there because they use it. But anyway, I'm rambling again, ain't I? Oh, to get right back to your responders thing, I don't want to say never, never, because we do have a tendency to do videos of some of the newer stuff when they open up. But hey, I'm not going to go down there and take insults from some of these other YouTubers around here because they think somehow, some way I'm invading their territory. I'm not going to go down there and I'm not going to deal with all that. And, you know, so anyway, that's just the way it is. But I may go down there. But I don't want to promise you I'm going to go down there, because if they do it the way they've done it in the past, I'm not going to get the invitation to be there. You know, just staying on that story a little bit. When he sent me a second email back when I got this invitation to go to the meeting. He said, hey, we really need an answer if you intend to come to the meeting, because he said, I have to save you a seat. He said, if you're not going to be there, please let me know so I can give your seat to someone else. That's what his email was. So I sent him an email right back saying, you never did answer my question. Can I video? Simple question. Well, this time I got an immediate response. He sent me an email back like within an hour saying, what is it you want to video? Well, I don't know what I'm going to video there. I mean, I can't answer that. I don't know what they're going to talk about. I don't know how the meeting is going to go, because keep in mind, they're in charge of this, not me. And I don't know about the lighting in there, because I know I can't use outside lighting. So if it's a dark room, my videos probably isn't going to work at all. So these are all the little things that I don't know anything about that would be nice if I did know about, but I don't know about. So I said, well, the meeting. I just want to be able to video certain segments of the meeting to show my viewers how these meetings actually go. I think it would be interesting for people that want to buy here to see how the developer handles some things. And he just sent me a thing back saying, well, he said, we just wanted to have a simple meeting where we could just simply get your input. So I sent him an email back saying, well, if you're saying I can't video, then I am politely going to deny the meeting. I don't want to come, basically. I forget how I put it, but it was in a nice way. And he never responded back to me. I've had, and I kid you not, this is a fact, before any of these other YouTubers started their thing, I used to go around and I would video all the newer homes and pre-owned homes that the villages had for sale. To this date, I have documented at least 100 homes in this area has sold because of my videos. To this date. Probably more, but I can document those. I don't sell homes. It's just my videos has interested enough people that they bought the home right next door to me. I advertised it for my friend over that had that house, Heart Attack Bob. And these people over here saw my video. And I think he's from Michigan or maybe Philadelphia. I don't know, up north. He saw it. I put Bob's phone number on the video also. He called Bob like that day that the video came out. That he got an airplane, flew down here, I want to say 2 days later, with a check, and bought this house over here because it was on my video. This house never got to a real estate guy. So I do know that my videos do perform once in a while. So, and the real estate people know it. So the way I could video new homes back then with the way things were done, they're not done that same way now. I could actually only go in when they were having an open house on a new home. And it's hard because other people are wanting to see this new home too. So we're trying to do video around people, where we're not bothering people. You know, they're talking, I don't want that in my video. So it takes a long while sometimes waiting for a room to clear out so I can do a video real quick in that room. And then we go to the next room, and I gotta wait for people to clear out before I can do video in that room. So what we would do whenever they were going to have an open house, we would try to go to this open house a half hour early. And as soon as the real estate guy would pull up there and put the flag in the ground, I'd go and ask him, hey, say, can I go in real quick and do a video of this house for my channel? Because they all knew who I was. Do a video on this channel before the people get here. That way I don't get in nobody's way. Sure, no problem. They loved it. They'd open the door. I'd go in and around, blah, 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 in, out. I'd thank the guy. Boom, we're gone. And of course, the house sold. Well, then one day, and I met a lot of realtors this way, the village's realtors. Some of them would come out in the street and they'd shake our hands and, hey, I just sold this house because of a video you put up last week and blah, 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 and we really appreciate it and thank you. I've had them, they've sent me gift cards. They've sent us, when I say gift cards, usually it's like a gift card to Olive Garden, because everybody knows I like Olive Garden. things like that. You know, nothing big, but little things like that, thanking me and this and things like that. Um, and usually a little letter. And in the letter, it'd also say, if you cut a video on this, please leave my name out of it. And I know why. So I never mentioned names. I never brought it up on the channels or anything. And then one day, I got a call from a lady that's been a realtor for the villages for 20 plus years. This lady is $1 million seller. This lady has a street in the villages named after her. This lady's been around here and she's made history here with the villages selling homes. She called and wanted to know if I'd be interested in videoing a bunch of houses that they have on a list, whatever they call this list, a list where they need to get them moved. They need to get them gone because they want to close the neighborhood out so they can move on to another neighborhood. And I said, well, how many houses you got on that list? And she said, oh, I've got over 60 homes. That was great for me to think about this. We're always looking for videos that we can do for content for our channel. 60 homes? This is great. I said, sure. I said, just email me that list. I said, and how do I get in these homes? She said, just let me know which ones you want to go to first and second, whatever. And she said, what I'll do is I'll go over, and I'm not going to give away any secrets, but she told me what she was going to do, and then when I leave, make sure I lock up, which I would, and make sure the lights are off and stuff like that, and I would do that. Great, this sounds like a good idea. And then I wouldn't hear nothing, didn't hear nothing. So finally I called her up. I had a phone number. I called her up. You don't want to email in Florida. Email has a law here in the state of Florida, in case you don't know. All emails in the state of Florida is considered to be open record. Anybody can get it, anybody can have it, anybody can use it. Just so you know. Phone calls, that's a private thing. So I called her up and she told me what's going on. I don't know if I know the proper realty names here, but the Villages Real Estate Company is owned, as you know, by the developer's companies. That's one of his companies. He owns it. Him and his family own that. But there's I want to say a broker, the guy that kind of runs everything. All the real estate people has to go through the broker for all the stuff. And so anyway, they have to go ask the broker's permission to let me do that, to let me go in these homes and video them, which actually they have nothing to lose here, but I mean, anyway. And she told me, she said that he has been told, and there's only one company, one person, one family member, one whatever, there's only one person that could actually tell this broker anything, that they are not to let me do that. No other reason was given. Not allowed to let me do that. She said, I can't do it without that permission, and they won't give it to me. I said, okay. I kind of suspected that because I've seen this happen. That's happened to me a half a dozen times. The realtors want me to do it, and they're saying no. But then here, I don't know, after that, I think the villages decided to do their own YouTube channel. And that might be why they decided they didn't want me doing it. Why would they let me make a little bit of money as far as advertisements go on my channel? They don't pay me anything to do those videos. The real estate people don't pay me anything to do those videos. The only money I would make on those videos, and it's not that much really, would be the advertisement that I get on YouTube for those videos. But as you know, I put a lot of these videos on my Patreon members and YouTube members first, advertisement free. Why? Because they give me a monthly fee income for my videos. So my return to them is I let them have them commercial free. So I make no money on those videos except for the monthly fee that these people sign up for. So anyway, that's the long and short of why I can't do villages videos on new homes. The only thing I can do, because I don't think legally they can stop me, but that may not be true. There might be some way that they can. I don't know that. But I don't think they can, is to go to an open house, because the open houses are open to the public. I am Mr. Public, and I think I can go in there and video. I don't think they can come to me and discriminate and say you can't video in here, because everybody with a cell phone walking through these houses video. So how would you finger point me and say you can't, but they can? Um, they can use the excuse saying, well, because you're going to use it on your YouTube. I don't see where that's illegal. But the facts of it is, if they wanted to make an issue of it, I'm not going to pay a lawyer $10,000 to say I have a right to do something. It ain't worth it to me. And that's really what it boils down to. Where am I at here? I think I got lost. Whew. It is humid out. This little cup that I got at the village is actually Sue got it for me. Really does a good job on keeping stuff cold inside. Wednesday, everybody coming back from the Wednesday golf. I started that Wednesday golf in this neighborhood 8 years ago. Marcia says, everyone like and subscribe. Thank you. Please. And Forex Trader says, and if you have St. Augustine, you better treat it for cinch bugs. I think cinch bugs is pretty much any grass down here. I could be wrong about that. I'm not really into all this insecticide stuff. But when we first moved in here, it wasn't cinch bugs. Part of my grass was dying out. This is after the 30-day warranty. And no matter what I did, it started out as a small circle, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I just couldn't get it to stop. So I finally called a guy that came down here, and he looked at it, and he said, has it always been that big? I said, no, it started small, and then after about 6 months, it's gotten that. It started out the size of, say, a coffee cup like that. It was about that big around. And then it just kept growing that way, kept getting bigger. And then it got to the point where it was the size of a dinner plate, and now it's the size of, I don't even know what. It's pretty good size. He looked at it and he says, you've got, what are those things called? It looks like one of the ugliest crickets you could ever imagine. What is that called? Help me, people. You people that live here, that moved here, come on. I know you had trouble with this bug. You know what I'm talking about. Damn. Mole crickets. He told me, you got mole crickets. Now, coming from the north, I know how southern people like to mess with northern people, right? They do. They did then, and they still do. They like to jack with us. I looked at him and I go, mole crickets. I said, are you jacking with me? He goes, oh, no, sir. He said, mole crickets here can be an issue. It'd kill this yard. He said, we don't get under control, they'll get in your neighbor's yard. I said, I never heard such a thing, mole crickets. He said, trust me, there is such a thing as mole cricket. So he goes out in his truck. He comes back with this bottle of something. I don't know what it was, but it was just a regular bottle of something. He took the lid off of it, and he poured it in a big round area inside this dead spot of grass. And he said, let's wait a minute. And he said, we'll see if it's mole crickets for sure. He said, if it is, one or two of them will come out. So we're standing there, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm looking at that. Because what he poured on her just looked like water to me, but apparently it wasn't. Next thing I know, here these little boogers are coming out of the ground. And they looks like a long, but ugly cricket. That's what it looks like. But they're about this long. I know you can't tell, right? Hold my finger out. They're about that long. Ugly. And he said, there you go. There they are. That's the mole cricket. And he tells you how the larva goes into the ground. They eat the grass, and then they cocoon down there, I guess. And then when they hatch out, they come out as a mole cricket right there. And then it'll fly away, and it's got a long tail. and that tail is so we can stick that tail in the grass, I guess, because it's sandy here. They stick it down into the ground, and they lay their eggs down there, and the cycle starts over again. So he sprayed my yard for these mole crickets, and about a year later, because it takes a while, about a year later, this I got zoysia grass. It kind of filled in that dead spot, and until this day, um, I don't have mole crickets. But trust me, if you hear that word mole cricket, don't laugh. There's actually a thing called a mole cricket. Kevin says, yes, you thanked me last week. Okay, Kevin, I just want to make sure, because sometimes this old brain of mine, um, that's why Linda, the co-host on WNL, she does it in a nice way. And she'll say, hey, don't we have, and and say, oh, yeah, that's her way of reminding me that I forgot something, and, you know. Oh, Sue's at, I forget who asked, but anyway, she's gone. She might be gone for half a day because uh, she goes shopping all the time. But she had a mammogram today. When I got up, I slept in a little bit. I didn't get out of bed till like 10 o'clock. So when I got up, she was already gone. Left me a note. Says mammogram. That's all it says, mammogram. I don't know what time it is. So sometimes if she got something to up to hospital or whatever, she has to go up there for something like that. She might take off early to go up there and do some shopping or whatever, running around, and then go do her mammogram. And then on the way home, she'll send me an email saying, "Well, I'm on my way home. You want me to stop at Olive Garden and get you the regular?" KM says, any problems, just call the commissioner. Yes, that's right. You got any problems, just call the commissioner. He'll take care of it for you. Oh, that's almost an inside joke. Thanks, KM. You just had to be there. How often in increments does the amenity fee go up? Usually once a year. I'm not sure when they actually sit down and do their budgets, but I'm going to say somewhere around the first of the year, like January is when it actually goes into effect. But toward the later part of this year, the last quarter of this year, when they all get together in a different um, groups around here, like CDD1, CDD2, CDD3, and they'll all figure out their budgets for each area. They'll all come up to what the amenity fees is going to be for next year, but then it usually kicks in January. So about once a year is when it goes up. There used to be a ceiling on it where the amenity fee had a ceiling. It could only go higher than this, and it stopped right there. And I think that ceiling was somewhere around 150 bucks a month. That was it. When I first moved in here, the amenity fee was because I go back to my very first house, not this house, the first house. The amenity fee back then was somewhere in the neighborhood of like, I want to say $75 a month. When I moved in this house, it was I want to say around one. It's always an oddball number, and I can't remember the exact number, but like 115, 116, 117. I only owned that house over there for approximately 3.5 years. So in 3.5 years, it went from 75 to say 115 here. I've been here 7.5 years. It'll be 8 years this October. We bought it in October of 2014, moved in November of 2014, and it was like 115, 116 when we first moved in here, give or take, somewhere in that area. To now, I don't even know what it is. Sue pays the bills. It's what is it? You guys tell me. The last I heard, it was like 165, 168, somewhere in that area. Maybe it's 170 now. I'm not 100% sure. So you can kind of get an idea by the time frame I'm telling you is about how much it goes up every year. And they put it to vote. It wasn't like we had to vote it in, but they put it to vote to our commissioners and stuff, and they voted out the ceiling of 150 a month. Once they voted that out, now there's no ceiling on it. It can go as high as it needs to go. It can go to 500 a month. It can go to 1,000 a month. I mean, I know I'm being crazy there. Maybe I don't know that, but yeah, there's no ceiling on it now. Elizabeth Chambers says, or Chamberlain says, it's been hot, but it's cooling off today. She must live up north somewhere. It's hot here. It's a little cooler today than it was yesterday, but when I say a little cooler, let me see if I can find it without. Well, I'm going to lose you guys for a minute. Right now it's 88 degrees. Yesterday at the same time it was 97. You'll see the video where we're coming back from videoing Carol's house, where I took a picture of the dash on our car, and it was 97 degrees yesterday coming home. Jerry says, is Sue still feeding that lizard? No. Not as far as I know. These things are wild. They only eat bugs. Uh, and I'm sure she's not going to the pet store and buying bugs. We got enough bugs. I like them around. They kind of keep the, if we have very many mosquitoes, it keeps mosquitoes down. And basically, what I see them eating around here on the sidewalks anyway is ants. And we have weird ants. There's one of them here. They call it a ghost ant, and you'll find them in your house if you see them. They're little bitty, microscopical looking things, little bitty, and they move very fast. And they call them ghost ants. And you could have a bunch of them and not even know it. So the last time I saw some ghost ants, it was actually in our bathroom. I don't even know where they come from. So anyway, you get this. You go to Lowe's and get it, or you can hire a company to come in here and do it, I suppose. But you can go to Lowe's to get it. Um, it's um, it's a no smell. It's a house spray, and it's for a lot of different ants, and one of them is ghost ants. It's in a little bottle. Like I don't even know. It doesn't take very much of anything. It's like 1 quart of water to like 3 drops out of this bottle. 3 drops in a quart of water. You mix it up and put it in a little sprayer, and you go around and you just kind of spray it around the edges of the walls. And of course, I overdo everything. I spray behind the stove and around the cabinets, and it's supposed to be totally harmless, as far as But even after we do all that, once everything kind of dries up, because it's a little bit of watery when you spray it, then we wipe everything down. Not on the floor so much, but when Sue mops the floors, and she mops the bathroom floors and stuff all the time. So if there's any residue in there, I'm pretty sure we get 90% of it up. But I can only tell you that I've been doing this now for 5 or 6 years with this spray, and we have never had any problem with it, any effects, or anything like that. So And then when I do spray, we won't have any for about, I don't know, somewhere between say 4 to 6 months, maybe longer. But sooner or later, you go into the bathroom or you go into the kitchen or whatever, making a cup of coffee. And you look down at the counter, and then all of a sudden you see one of these little boogers running around in circles. And you might only see one, but I guarantee if you see one, there's 1,000 in there somewhere. And when I see it, that's when I tell Sue, well, about time to spray again. And then they're gone for about 5 or 6 months, and I don't know where they come from. I really don't. I don't know if they're so small that a window screen will not keep them out. So, but we generally don't have any of the windows open because we have air conditioning, so we don't have the windows open. But they're so small that I swear to God, if there's a little crack in your window, anywhere around the window, the edge of the window, they're probably just crawling right straight through there. So I don't know if you can ever keep them out. So Skip Sue trying to reach you. Oh, I see it. Oh, thanks, Marcia. I'm looking. Where's she trying to reach me at? Sue. Oh, want me to bring you something from McAllister's? Oh, I see it. Now, if you're watching this, Sue, not from McAllister's. McAllister's changed their menu. My favorite sandwich is gone, and so they've kind of upset me now. So I don't want nothing from McAllister's. I don't know exactly where are you at. Comment on here exactly where you're at, and Are you anywhere near the Panda, whatever it's called, Panda? Is that what it's called, Panda Express? Are you anywhere near that? If you are, go in there and get me my um, Chinese noodles and the walnut shrimp thing, whatever it's called. I don't even know. And don't forget, if you do, have your Villages card. We get that discount. Thanks, Marcia. See, this is why I have these people on here. They know that I don't see things sometimes because I wasn't even this far down. I'm still way up here somewhere trying to answer each and every one of the questions. Cindy Patterson says, "What SEO terms do you have?" You're going to have to tell me what SEO means. I don't even know. I know you're going to tell me, then I'm going to go, oh, I should have known that. SEO. I'm trying to figure that out. SEO. Somebody help me here. SEO. SEO terms do I have? Terms. Hmm. I want to answer that, but I don't know what SEO means. Am I stupid or what? I am so dumb when it comes to this stuff. SEO. See, I've seen that before somewhere. SEO terms. SEO terms. Somebody's going to have to tell me what SEO stands for because I can't. I just can't quite. I just can't quite figure that out. Somebody's opening or shutting a garage door. It's so quiet in most of the village areas that you live in, you know, that the littlest noise is what distracts you. A garage door opening. You go, oh, somebody's opening a garage door. That's the excitement of the day. How many subscribers do I have on each of my channels? Well, I don't have near as many probably as a lot of them do around here. I don't really keep a big eye on that. But the last time I checked on my village's channels, I'm probably behind like everybody because I have a tendency to scare them off because I won't put up with certain things that the other channels do put up with, and I just don't do that. But the last time I checked, I think I was only around like maybe 11, 12,000 subscribers here on this one. And on the RV channel, it's been like 1,650 subscribers for a year now. And I've got over 200 and some videos on there. That's a lot of time, that's a lot of effort, and that's just a lot of stuff that I'm not going to waste my time with. I'm not going to be putting 1,000 videos on there 10 years from now, and it's just not worth my time. So if it's not going to grow for whatever reason, then I'm going to take that prize there and I'm going to put it on this channel because this channel is growing. Not very fast. I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's just not very fast. I don't know why, but there's all kinds of settings in the YouTube setup, and I'm not real, what you say, I'm not an expert about all that. I've tried different settings, moving things around from one thing to another. I've taken advice from people that sounded like they knew more about it than I did, and everything they advised me to do, I did. I saw absolutely no change whatsoever. So the only thing I'm playing with now is I can rate my channel or videos a certain way. The number one choice is none. None. But then I can rate the videos. It could be entertainment, and that changes the whole channel. For every video, it'd be listed under entertainment, or our adventure, or information, or well, they don't call it information, they call it education, all these different things. And I don't know, maybe that's where I'm making my mistake, because I've been moving around to different things, you know, trying to find out which one. I figure if I hit the right one overnight, I might see I got 100 new subscribers overnight. Then that tells me that maybe that's where it needs to stay. But I don't really see no difference no matter where I put it. Actually, I think I get more subscribers when I just hit none, because I had it on none for like 6 months, and in 6 months I picked up 800 new subscribers. So I don't really know what I'm doing wrong. I really don't. So I've come to a conclusion. Here's my conclusion. That because I have all this other competition now that I never had before, over 65% of my viewers, even back then, 65% of my viewers were not subscribed. They all say they are. Well, I'm not talking to the ones that say they are. I'm talking to that 65% that's coming to my channel and they're watching my stuff, but they won't subscribe for whatever their reasons are. We've tried to figure it out. I worked with Mania. I worked with other people around here, Papa Pineapples, Ira Miller, a lot of people trying to figure out what is the deal? And we come to the conclusion that we thought, because basically my audience is elderly, and elderly people only see things a certain way. They're not like the younger generation that understands a lot more when it comes to this Wi-Fi and the internet and all that stuff. They only know that subscribing goes back to the day when we had cable, and you could be a cable subscriber. That's a monthly fee. Or if you wanted to watch HBO because they had I can't think of what that one channel was called, or program was called. I loved it. I watched it. I subscribed to HBO just to watch that show, Sopranos. If you wanted to watch Sopranos, you had to subscribe to HBO. You couldn't watch it any other way when it was new. So I subscribed to HBO, and at that time it was like, I don't know, $8 a month or something to watch The Sopranos. And so we come to the conclusion that maybe that's why people don't subscribe, because me dealing with elderly people most of the time, they think subscribing means I got to pay something. No, you don't pay anything to watch my YouTube channel, but if you want to help support the channel and everything in it, that's what Patreon's for. That's what PayPal is for. Well, part of what PayPal is for. Not all, I don't use PayPal for that, but I can. But I use PayPal for Amazon. No, not Amazon. eBay, and to have paid subscriptions to everything I need to do the W&L show. It costs me a little bit of money every month, and so on my PayPal, it just automatically comes out of PayPal and pays them. I don't have to worry about going on there and doing it. That's why I got PayPal, because almost every business now takes PayPal, except Amazon. That's because PayPal is owned by eBay, and Amazon's in competition with eBay, and so they won't take PayPal. It's just a corporate thing. So anyway, we figured that's what it was. Well, so we started putting that on there. Little things like, please subscribe. It's free. We started saying little things like letting people know. And I think it's helped somewhat, because the last time I checked on this channel, it come down to something like 54% of the people that view my videos are not subscribed to the channel. It's still, there's still a stigma there. And I don't know what I can do about it. I've advertised it all I can advertise it about, I don't know. I just don't know. So I come to the conclusion, for me anyway, it's a personality thing. There's somebody over here with a wife and a dog, and they don't have that gruff voice. I got kind of a gruff voice, and they do all the nicety things that people want to see. It's a personality thing, so they go there. They come to my channel and they say, I don't like what he says. He's just too rough. He talks about drunks all the time in the villages, and they don't want to know about it, so they just don't subscribe. So I just kind of give up. Now, that being said, let me tell you what my biggest problem is, probably with subscribers. Last time I looked, I don't put up with certain things. And I've always said on the WNL show and on here also, I'll put up with a lot. Don't get me wrong. You can disagree with me all day long. That's fine. Just be respectful about it. That's all. I mean, but if you say anything about any of my girls on the WNL show, I don't care which one, and I don't care what your reasoning is. If you say anything super nasty about any of my guests on my show, I don't care what your reasoning is. I'm going to ban you from my channel, no questions asked. Everybody knows that. You can disagree with what they say. That's fine. Just be respectful. But if you get on there and start calling them funny names and get really nasty and stuff like that, you're gone. The last time I checked in my YouTube jail, that's what I call it, YouTube jail, I had over 3,000 people in YouTube jail. They can watch my videos, but they can't comment on my channel anymore. They're gone. And unless they send me an email letting me know why they want out of jail and have a civil conversation with me through email, I'm not taking them out of jail. I don't want that on my channel. So that's probably affected me quite a bit too, because they tell other people that tell other people, the reputation gets around that, it's just like, you guys don't see it, but I have certain things set up on my YouTube channel that if anything that's in any of your comments that has anything to do with the way my channel is set up, you have to go to an area where I have to personally approve. Nobody else can, not even the moderators. I have to personally approve your statement to show up on the channel. Out of 10 comments that goes on there, truthfully, right now, it's probably about 50% of those comments that I do approve, because what they're saying it isn't anything really bad, and I approve them. But all of a sudden, in the last, I'll say year, there's a lot of these overseas sex channels. That's the way I'll put it. I don't even know what else you call them. Porn channels. They keep trying to put their address on my comments. And I'll probably find them on here when I go inside. They're never going to get on here as of right now. I do think one of them snuck through once, a Russian one. I'm not sure how it did that either, because I went back and found it, and I posted that channel in my YouTube jail. So I know that channel's gone. But that's the only one I know of that kind of snuck through. But those are some of the things that we're watching. And as far as I know, maybe that's some of the reason why I'm not getting subscribers to subscribe like I'm supposed to, because that setting is eliminating a lot of people. I don't know. But I do that. One of the major things on YouTube is views. I've mentioned this so many times. YouTube's analytics keeps track of that. How many views has this video got in the first 1 hour that it was posted? How many views did it get after 6 hours? How many views has it gotten after 24 hours? And in my area here, it'll compare how many views did I get in one day compared to how many views did other YouTube channels here got in one day. And then that information, YouTube uses that on the little side panels there on the side of your YouTube channel. You'll see all these other videos over there. Those are the ones those are recommendations. That's why I think my channel is not being recommended over there, because there's a couple of other YouTube channels around here that's basically just blowing me out of the water, because you guys are watching their stuff more than you're watching my stuff. And I'm not playing you personally. I'm just saying you viewers are watching more of their stuff than my stuff for whatever your reasons are. And, there's nothing I can do about that other than keep trying different things. That's why I'm always looking for something different than what they're doing. And because what they're doing, I've already done 100 times over. It's just that I'm also finding out people don't care about your past history in the YouTube videos. They only care about what you're doing today or yesterday. That's it. They don't want anything else. Where am I at here? I got lost. I got to rambling again, didn't I? Just so you guys know, I'm aware that I ramble. When I edit, you would have, no, like in the news, if I was to leave everything in that news that you guys never see, that news would be 2 hours long, maybe longer. I cut so much out of there because I watched that going, I'm rambling. I cut all that out. I'm doing it again. I cut it out. I'm aware that I ramble, and I'm really working at trying to catch myself. And I've even told some of the moderators, if you hear me ramble, somehow we got to have a code. Somehow we got to put a code in the comments to get me to move on. Because like on WNL show, I got it limited to 2 hours. That's all I want. And because of rambling and things, and because of games that take too long, 2 months ago, the WNL went 2.5 hours. That's a half hour too long. That show, I'm blaming it on the games because I watched it. You notice this show this time, it was just shy of 2 hours. That's where I need it to be. So I'm working on rambling. I'm trying to stop it. But if you think it's hot and sticky there, Deb, you should be here. Trying to find where I left off at. Well, Forex trader, I've done all that. Looking for keywords and going into Google, and it gives you all the top search words for whatever it is you're doing and all this and that. I've done all that. I really haven't noticed any difference on that either. So I don't know what to do. I really don't. Maybe I should find some expert that knows how to do this and hire them to come to my house for an hour, get on the computer, look and see how I got things set up to see if I'm okay. Maybe that's what I should do. I don't know. But I just don't know what to do. Well. Cindy Rollins says, hey, kiddos. My aunt used that word all the time up north whenever we would go visit our aunt. She used that word all the time. Hey, kiddos. What are you kids doing today? I'm 40 years old. She saw me calling me a kid. And here I am now down here, and I'm doing the same thing. Kids living with their mom, but he's 45 years old. Has anybody told me what SEO means yet? I'm still looking, Cindy. I haven't forgot you. I'd like to answer you, but I don't know what SEO means. I got had an idea that, terms, that maybe that has something to do with my district rules, maybe? Send us some rain. Yeah, out west, they're having a big problem too. The thing that really is kind of got me interested, as opposed to a lot of you, is that area between Las Vegas all the way down to San Diego. There's lawsuits popping up all up and down the Colorado River right there. They're in a huge drought. Lake Mead is drying up, and somehow San Diego worked out. Maybe this is old news too. I don't know. I don't know that either. But they worked out some kind of a contract deal. I don't know how they do things out there, where they somehow are buying water rights off of another town, and that takes water out of the Colorado River to give San Diego more water. And so now the Salton Sea, which is way down where nobody lives hardly anyway, the Salton Sea. You have to look it up. There's all kinds of stories about it. The Salton Sea is starting to dry up, and there's all kinds of problems down there because of the water rights that San Diego is getting from some other area to be able to take more water out of the Colorado River. So now that Colorado River doesn't feed into the Salton Sea anymore, and it's a big issue. And I don't know. I mean, that just seems kind of weird to me. But if it ain't getting to the Salton Sea, that tells me past the Salton Sea, whoever is next to the Colorado River, they're not getting their water either. So I don't know. William Barr says, "Hey Skip, I'm sweating to the point where I can't hardly see my glasses now. Wait a minute." Says, "I really enjoy your shows. I thank you for the response for me last week." Well, you're welcome. I don't remember what I said, and if I said anything bad, I'm sorry. I try to answer so many emails and things that I can't remember them all. But anyway, it says, "I thank you for your response to me last week. I am 58 until the 15th, Florida native. I live in Fruitland Park. Keep up all what you do." Well, I will, William. I'm just trying to figure some of this stuff out. Being an old duffer, that I can usually figure things out. But this subscriber thing, I can't figure that out. I mean, I'm kind of lost in the jungle right there. Mike Q says, "I'll be down there July 10 to the 22nd. Hope we can catch up." Anytime, Mike. If I'm here, just give me an email, give me a shout. I think you got my phone number. Just give me a call, and yeah, we'll run down to Beer World or run to Evans Prairie or Bonifay or Belle Glade or someplace, and we'll have a couple of beers, and you can tell me what you've been doing. Are you still going over to Dubai and working over in that area, or have you retired from all that? None of my business. I'm just asking because I know you went to Dubai quite a bit working there, and I didn't know if you had retired from there or not, because last time I talked to you, I think you said, if I heard right, remember right, that you were giving that up and you were getting ready to stay stateside, right? That video you saw about the ambulance in the neighborhood, that video was done probably a month, maybe 2 months ago. Those videos always, most of them anyway, always goes on Patreon first, or they'll go to my YouTube members first, and I let them guys see all that stuff first. And once I feel like they're done with it and they're not seeing any more, I watch the view times. If they're not watching it anymore, then that's when I move it over to YouTube. Not every video's done that way, but you know, that's what I usually do. I put it on those channels first, commercial free, and then when they get done with it, then I move it over to YouTube. So yeah, I think everything's okay. They're down there right now. Let me see if I can show you in the daytime. If I can show you the house. Let me see. Where's it at? I can't even see it myself. Okay. Can you see the house down there on the left that you're looking at? There's like a white golf car sitting in the garage door looking out at you. Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. We're looking the wrong way. Let me do it this way. Doggone it. Let me turn this around this way. I'm making a mess here. There we go. That white car in the driveway and the golf cart's in the garage. That's where it was at, was right there. And I've seen them in the last couple of days going and coming. Now, I haven't seen Mom outside, but that's not unusual because it gets really, really hot. Older people here don't come outside. They usually come out in the evenings or maybe early in the morning. I'm not an early riser, so if she was out here early this morning walking, I would never see her anyway. See, there's the daughter right there. So I'm guessing everything's okay. Like I said, I haven't seen anything weird. I haven't seen her, you know, that's she's been to the grocery store, I guess. I haven't, oh, that sounds like, that seemed creepy. I don't mean to sound creepy. I'm just sitting out here. So that's, it looks like it's okay. I mean, I don't know what they call the ambulance for. Um, those people down there are kind of stick to themselves, kind of, as I am getting that way, more of a stick to myself, kind of. So I don't bother them. If she should happen to be walking down the road, I might yell at her and say, "Hey, how's your mom?" And then I'd find out that way. But as far as me going down there, knocking on the door and bothering them, listen, I don't like to bother people. You're in the retirement community. You never know who doesn't feel good. You never know who has just went through some things. You know, sitting here, I don't like talking about bad things. I know that also causes people not to subscribe. They don't want to hear it, but it's a natural fact here. I don't know. There's 660 homes in my part of Hillsboro. I don't know how many people here is going through cancer treatments right now, chemotherapy. I don't know who just went in and had a tooth cut out of their head. See what I'm saying? So that's why I don't go knocking on doors, because you don't know who doesn't feel good. I do know of a few here that's not doing well, and so I don't bother them, but they know that if you need any help with anything, I'm just right over there. And so they know that. And so other than that, I leave them alone. So that's why I don't know some things that maybe you think I should know. Margie says, a golden doodle. Is that 25 pounds or less? Something tells me it's not. Matter of fact, I think the one dog back here that the lady was going to give Sue that I didn't know what it was. It was a golden doodle thing, and you know, and we could have had it for free. And when I finally told Sue, I said, "Yeah, go ahead and get that. I'll take that dog. We got a house train it, but we'll work with it." And then, but that by that time, the dog she'd already give it away. Because let me just say, when it comes to a dog, listen to me. I appreciate all the suggestions about dogs. I want a small dog. I don't want a Chihuahua. I just don't even like them. But I'd like to have a small dog, like around a Boston Terrier size. My number one pick would be a Boston Terrier. But the fact is, I'm not going to pay $2, $3, and $4,000 for a dog. I'm not. I'm also not going to adopt a dog that's 15 years old. I'm not doing that. So those are out for my own reasons. I'm not doing it. And I'm also not going to go to one of these dog places. I get these emails all the time saying, go check this place out. Go check. I've checked them out. One of them that somebody sent me, and I don't remember the name of it now, is a scam. I contacted those people. They had Boston Terriers for like $600, 8 weeks old. I told Sue, I said, I'll pay $800 for a Boston Terrier. So I sent them an email. They sent me one right back. I mean, like right back. Talking about them, sent me like 18 pictures. I didn't ask for 18 pictures. And I knew right then, all these pictures coming up, this is not like a way a business operates. And then he says, and we take PayPal and we take your charge card. Just let us know which one you want to put a deposit on. And we require a $500 deposit. And I sent him an email back saying, I'm not doing business that way. Tell me where you're at, and I'll drive up there, and I'll be bringing cash with me to buy the dog. Uh-oh, the boss is home. Oh, you can't see. Yeah, boss is home. And so I got an email right back saying, what? You're not going to get a deposit on these dogs? So you just totally wasted my time. It was a total of 2 minutes, wasted my time. That's when I knew. So I sent him one right back saying, seems to me I run across your channel once before on Facebook, and this is a scam. And so I actually sent an email to the local police department up there. They sent me an email back saying they were aware of the situation and was looking into it. And I let it go. So you got to be careful about some of these so-called dog adoption agencies, because they will send you everywhere. The one in Orlando, I'm not going to them either. I got a hold of them. Well, first of all, to adopt a dog there, it's going to cost you a minimum of $250 just for the paperwork. You got to fill paperwork out first. Then they're going to send somebody to your house. They want to make sure that you live in a nice home or whatever. And they got to make an appointment for that. And that was another like $40 charge or something, depending on where you live from Orlando area. And then once you get through all that, they want to send you to where these dogs are available. And I got a list. The list is from Tampa to Jacksonville to Panama City to Miami. I am not driving all over the United States for $5 a gallon gas looking for a dog. I'm not doing it. So here's the deal. Forget it. Just forget it. I'm not looking for a dog anymore. Like Sue said, the dog will find us. We're not looking anymore. Dave Dempsey says, search engine optimizer. Oh, that's where I saw that before, right, Dave? See how technical I am? Thanks, Dave. Search engine optimizer. Now let me figure out what that is. You look at what people search. Wait a minute. You look at what people search for and create content to match searches. Well, I've done that with Google. You know, I've typed in things up there like the villages, and then it comes up with a whole list of things of, I guess, what you guys type in as what you're looking for. And believe it or not, all of them little things in there are in my, what they call, what are they called? Tag words, word tags, whatever. It's all in there. And it doesn't seem to make any difference. Hey, Kevin. I'm just now getting down to Kevin Jockway's on here. Well, AJ, that's been some of the things that changes here. I try to point them out. Most people I don't think really cares. Truthfully, they don't care because I said that back when I was about 48 years old. Spanish Springs was the only square there was. There was talk about Lake Sumter at that time, but it hadn't started yet. And they had this so-called build out. After a while, that almost became a joke around here. Just ask any of the old timers; they'll tell you build out, and it was like it was a standing joke. Well, the build out at that time was going to be up around Nancy Lopez Country Club, and Sue and I took a golf cart ride and got lost half a dozen times going up there. But we went to Nancy Lopez Country Club when they first opened up. and they had a series of patio villas up there called the Savannah series. I still got the paperwork that the villages sent me in a little cardboard, looks like a briefcase. There's a VCR tape in there, back when that's what it was, and all this and that. And I could have bought a brand new 2 bedroom, 2 bath Savannah series patio villa up there for, I'm trying to remember what was on that paperwork. I want to say around $65,000. Well, I was still working at the time. I was only 48 years old, but we had come down here several times, and I told Sue, I said, why don't we just buy it as an investment property, and we'll rent it out in the winter, and then we'll use it as a vacation home when we come down here instead of renting something. That's what we decided to do. So my buddy that worked for the Villages real estate company at that time, I told him, I said, I think I might want to buy one of these. How much of a down payment do I need, and all that kind of. I said, I've got my own financing, which I did. I said, I don't need the banks down here. And maybe that's why I was refused. I don't know that. But he said, no problem. He wrote up the paperwork. He called me like the next day and said that my application, you had to make an application to buy a home. He said, my application had been refused. I said, for what? He said, they said you're too young. I said, oh, okay. I never gave it much of a thought. It did not anger me. I didn't give it much of a thought. I was just trying something. I know I'm 48. I know it's a 55 plus. I had it in my head what 55 plus meant. And I was refused, so I didn't think anything about it. So I got my deposit back, and I took my realtor out to dinner, him and his wife. I did it all the time, and that let it go. Now, years later, I'm buying my first house up here, a patio villa that was by Lake Sumter Landing. I bought it for cash, $131, I think, somewhere in that 131, 132, somewhere in that area right there. But it was a pre-owned. It did have some upgrades in it, not a lot, but Sue and I did upgrade some things in there. Like one was yank out the carpeting, and you know what everybody does. Did all that. Now by that time though, I think I was 58. I think around 58. I was past the 55 to get my 401k money out to do that with. Because we just got past that house debacle thing. My 401k money came back. I know I've explained this story before, but there's new people on here who probably hadn't heard it. And so I said, I'm pulling it out of the stock market. I don't want to go through that again. I'm so close to retirement. I don't want to go through that again. Pulled it out, bought that placeholder, and paid cash for it. And did exactly what I said I was going to do. And we didn't have any problem with it whatsoever. Since then, I've noticed that. We have 40-year-old people buying homes here. 50-year-old people buying homes here. I'm finding out by talking to people that apparently the rules that regulate a district doesn't apply to people renting the house. I don't know why, but it doesn't. And things have changed. And so you've heard me say when people ask certain questions about the newer area down there, I'm always saying, check out your district rules. Call a licensed realtor. By ethics code, they can't lie to you. If you are getting a sales representative from the village's real estate company, technically they can lie to you because they don't have an ethics code. And so I don't know what changed, but somewhere along the line things just changed. The rule has always been a 19-year-old son or daughter can live with you in the villages full time. That rule has always been that way. That rule was set in place for people that has disabilities, and they have to stay with mom and dad to help take care of them. And I don't think anybody had a problem with that, ever. Now that rule's being really stretched out there. You've seen the news. People 28 years old, drug addicts, I don't know. I mean, things are changing as the village gets bigger and bigger. Rules are changing from district to district. So I always say, and Sue always says, if you got a question about any of this stuff, make sure you talk to a licensed realtor, and then also check your district rules. And you got to do your due diligence, because there's going to be things here that I've said before. When you first move in, it's all fun and games. Block parties, driveway parties, swimming pool parties, bingo night, stuff like that. After you're here for a couple of years and you kind of settle into things, you'll find yourself really not going to the squares all that much like you used to, and things like that. And you're going to notice things you really didn't notice before. and that's when things will start setting in. I don't know why, but it seems like after I talk for a little while, my chat moves, automatically just moves. Somebody will make a new comment and it goes all the way to the bottom, and I have to keep backing up, trying to figure out where I was at. Did you bring me something home to eat?
I did.
What?
I brought you an Italian.
Italian what?
Italian sub from McAllister's.
I said right here on this, I said, don't go to McAllister. I don't want to go there.
Oh, that's where I was at. So that's why I brought you one from there. I had lunch with Ann and Tanya there.
Ann and who?
Tanya.
Oh.
Yeah, the neighbor.
What was Ann doing?
Nothing, actually. I had a doctor's appointment, so I just met him up there.
I was making fun of Cindy on here. She used the word kiddos. That's like an Indiana word up there. Everybody says, "Hey, you kiddos, get out of here." You know, who's that?
That's when they're being nice. That's her Ann.
She get a new car?
Evidently. No, I don't know. Maybe she had a red one to start with. I don't remember. I get hers and Judy's mixed up. So, hey.
Which one is Tanya's?
I'll take you down there. She gonna buy something from Tanya.
Oh, okay. She is right down the road down there.
Yeah. I'll take you down there.
What are you buying? What are you buying me, Ann?
A bed.
You're buying me a beer?
A bed.
A bed? Oh. I don't need a bed, Ann. Yeah, she sold that house in one day down there. I don't know what else she's got in the house, but you might want to get a hold of Sue, actually. But I know she was selling stuff, and usually good used things down here, whatever it is, goes pretty quick. So she's selling it and getting rid of it because she's got to go to a assisted living home. The house is gone. She'll close on that probably roughly 30 days, and so she's getting rid of stuff. So anybody that might be around here that might be interested in whatever Tanya's got left, and I don't know what she's got over there, send me an email and I'll forward it to Sue, and she can let you know what's down there that you might be interested in or whatever, and give you an address and stuff. I don't know. There might not be much of anything left. I don't know that. But I feel like I should have bought that generator just so I could pass it on to one of you guys, because generators is kind of a hot topic around here. So I don't know. I mean, but I'm pretty sure she's done got rid of that by now. Wrestler Mania's on there. Hey, Wrestler, what's going on, man? Ain't you working? Well, he could be gone by now. I'm really running late on the chats. He could have came and gone, and I done missed him. CM says, "Hi everyone, up here at Ocala I with my hubby. Porch setting with y'all." Well, thanks, CM. Are you getting glasses? Getting cataract surgery done? Or, Sue went up to Lake Sumter, that eye clinic up there. She'll tell you the name of it. And she had cataracts taken out of each one of her eyes. One week, and I think the other one was the next week. And she has nothing but good things to say about it. I'm going to have it done myself eventually. I got floaters. Might have to have it done eventually, but I don't see the problem right now, a big problem right now. But I am going to get it done, and if that doctor's still up there, which I'm sure he will be, that's probably where I'm going to go because that's just right up the road. Marcia says I live in Atlanta. Well, I didn't know that, Marcia. I don't know why I was thinking. I thought you lived here. I always think, see how my mind is? I get people mixed up on different things. I could have swore I got an email from you a while back saying, thanks for the videos. I closed on my house in July and we're moving down there. Must be somebody else. Sam says our solar panels are now activated as of July 1st. Keep us informed of what you think about that. You know, because I've been reading things about Florida is going to change the law about solar panels. I'm not sure exactly how well all this is going to work, but I do know there's a lot of them in my neighborhood. Well, I say a lot, but there's quite a few. Definitely more than one or two. You know what? I see a lot of people coming down that road and they stop right there looking around and they turn here. I'll bet you the villages have still got her house listed because they can't take it off right away. They can't mark it sold right away, except on the internet maybe, but it comes out in that newspaper. I bet her house is listed in that newspaper and people are driving by looking at it. Because Hillsborough area here is a popular area to be in. There's a lot of popular areas, but in this area, I'm telling you, this is a popular area to be in, especially if you like golf. Rami says, woohoo! Hey, Skip! Hey, Rami! Oh, I'm down at the restaurant and says, hey, Jerry, I am at work and I only have a few moments to torment Skip. I will do my best. That's okay, wrestler. You being my moderator, you have the distinct privilege to torment me all you want. Jerry Bell says the same thing. Says, CM, you got to keep us updated on your solar. Yeah, keep us updated on what you think. Did you make any money with it? Is your bills actually got less? How much less? All the intricate details that people want to know. I had the solar guys on here once on a WNL show, and they talked about it. Talked about some kind of government payback or something that you got for getting solar, probably a tax write-off of some kind, and things like that. But to be honest with you, the more they talked about it, the less I really understood. Forex Trader says, once the St. Augustine is established, you may only need to water about twice a week for at least 20 to 30 minutes for the ground to get the water where it needs. St. Augustine is a drought grass. I don't know if it's a drought grass or not. I don't know much about it, but I do know in the state of Florida, St. Augustine is one of the few grasses that actually wants to grow here. To me, in a lot of ways, it looks like a weed that just overtakes your yard, the way it grows and how it grows. I've got zoysia grass. It looks more like a grass. It feels more like a grass when you walk on it. It's a fine bladed grass, not a wide bladed grass, but it's a pain in the ass to take care of. And it is really a drought tolerant grass. The biggest problem with zoysia that most people don't like is it's in its breeding. In the wintertime, it wants to go dormant. And when it goes dormant, it basically turns brown. It's not dead. It just goes dormant, and that's what it does. So what happens is a lot of people here, when it starts to turn brown, they mistaken that for it needs to be watered. And so they start watering the heck out of it in the wintertime to keep it green. And in some ways it works. The grass will stay greener But in the long run, I think you're actually damaging the grass. The grass needs to rest. So I don't do that. In the wintertime, when it goes dormant, my yard doesn't get watered and very seldom gets mowed because when it goes dormant, it doesn't grow. So my yard guy doesn't mow. I know what you're going to ask. And yes, though, I got to pay the monthly fee because he will drive by and look at it. Sometimes he'll stop by and he'll edge the yard, keep it nice and edged. Anybody won't mow. Sometimes, if it needs it, he'll take his weed eater and go around the edge of the house and stuff to keep that down. But he doesn't really mow. So he'll mow on an average in the wintertime. I'm going to say he'll hit the yard on an average of maybe once a month for about 2 or 3 months of winter. But after that, then everything starts to come back. So ours is really a drought-tolerant grass, and that's why it was planted here. But it's just a pain. I deal with it because it's what it is. But if I had my choice between Augustine and this, I'm not sure if I like either one of them really. But Augustine is a grass that wants to grow here. Mike LaPointe says, "Hi Skip, love your stream. Fish from Nova Scotia. Hey, Canada." That's probably where all the comfortable weather's at right now, is up there. That's probably where all the RVers went, all up there. Linda says, "Hi Skip," from Joe and Linda. Hey, Joe and Linda. John, just so you know, Skip, Honda's discontinuing the gold one. I mean the gold wing. They might. I know at one time it was made in Marysville, Ohio. That's where that factory was at, where they made the Honda Civic car, I believe, and the gold wing was on assembly line with that Honda Civic car. Well, then the Honda Civic car got so popular that they took the gold wing and they shipped the factory back to Japan to make the gold wing, and they turned that factory, they doubled the amount of cars being produced there to the, I think, Honda Civic, and that's the way it is to this day. So now if they're doing away with the gold wing, well, that's kind of surprising really, but in a way it's not surprising because they got to ship them over here and all that kind of stuff. So maybe they're just going to discontinue them for a while until the shipping containers become used again like they should be used. I don't know, but if they're going to discontinue it, I'm sure it's they're not making a profit that they need to make, or maybe they don't want to compete with some of the other motorcycles now that has copied the things that Goldwing did that the other motorcycles never did, and now they got this competition going on. It's a shame they're discontinuing it though, because I'll tell you what, as a touring bike for me and Sue, that was it. Our first one was a Goldwing 1500, and once I got past learning how to do everything with it, especially taking a passenger, I took the course. And I took the course with Sue on the back of the bike, learning how to handle the bike with her on it. I mean, it's something to learn. But once I got past all that and got comfortable with everything, when I upgraded to the GL 1800 at that time, we took all kinds of trips with it. I mean, we took so many trips that within 2 years of owning that bike, we recorded 44,000 miles on just that bike. So we loved it. We absolutely loved that bike. Wrestler says, something I say, healthy home cooking would give Skip too much of a hard time for a relaxing porch setting. She saves her best retorts for W&L. Are you telling me on W&L that's all she's got? Tell her I said that. Sam says she does both DoorDash and Instacart. I've never used Instacart. I've always just called the restaurant and asked them, who do you use? And I know that Bob Evans, when last time I used it, they said they used DoorDash. And so I said, that's fine. Because I assumed they had somebody kind of they could depend on. I don't know how that really works, but I can only tell you when I ordered the food an hour later, that food was here, piping hot, and it was great. Had no problem at all. I said, well, break over, everyone. Have a great day. Thanks for coming by, Wrestler. Appreciate it, buddy. Tracy Howard. See, here's some of the comments. I never know how to take them. Are you joking or are you serious? And here's another one that could go to YouTube jail. I'll read it to you. It says, ugh. Wouldn't live there if my life depended on it. Nosy old man watching your every move. I'm not watching everybody's every move. I'm just sitting out here and I'm just showing you people what it is I see here. And this is a normal day in the villages. So those of you that don't live here, that's thinking about living here, what I'm showing you is this is about what you can expect in a neighborhood that's done. No construction going on. This is just an average everyday Wednesday. This ain't Saturday. It ain't a Monday. This is a Wednesday. This is what it is. So I'm going to take that as a joke and let that one slide because I can't tell. You didn't put an LOL after that or a smiley face to let me know or whatever. But just be warned, you keep that kind of stuff up, I'll put you in YouTube jail because I don't care about getting 50,000 subscribers. I just care about the people that really need to know stuff, and I'm going to give it to them. That's what I care about. Ram, I said, was that house a villa? I think I bid on that. Tell me what house you're talking about. Are you talking about the one down the road from me? No, it wasn't a villa. Hers is it's in there. I want to say an Alamanda model. That's what it was. It's already sold. It sold the day they had open house. The first person that walked in the open house and walked around the house bought the house. I think it was a full price cash offer, $419,900. That's it. Muskie Podman says, I still water 3 times a week. I live and love Penny, but we don't get rain every day or not enough rain every day. Oh, we get rain here lately. And that's the funny thing about rain, too. All the villages are spread out so big now that what's raining in Sumter Landing may not be raining in Finney. I mean, we've seen that many, many times. But like last night, it rained hard here for about, which is typical for us in the wet season, which we're in right now. I'm going to say it rained fairly hard for a half an hour yesterday, and then it quit. Water run down the road into the things, and that was it. And it's done that every night so far this week. We might have a night where it skips, where we don't get any rain. I don't water. And like I say, my water right now in there is shut off for the whole yard. And you guys see my yard right now. I mean, well, you really can't, can you? I mean, it's green. I have no brown spots in it or anything like it's starving for water. So I don't water. And like I said, if you're watering and you're seeing water running down the street, you're overwatering. So you got to keep an eye on that. Marcia says, Skip, seen the video on Deb's new house, beautiful home, perfect for her. Sue went over there. I didn't go over there. Who's that? I didn't go over there. I don't know. It just doesn't really interest me to live in an assisted living yet. Actually, to walk into an assisted living and walk around, I just get this eerie feeling that I'm not supposed to be here. You know what I mean? I'm here to visit somebody that needs assisted living. But that place is not set up that way. I didn't know that until Sue brought me the video. They have a section in there that's assisted living. They have another building in there that's for memory care. But all them homes that are in there, it's like that is a truly gated community. Your children are not going to live with you there. That's number one. That's good. Number two is one of the things I noticed that I know a lot of you don't notice. It doesn't bother you, but it bothers the hell out of me. No landscaper there is going to be able to use any of their swimming pool areas as a toilet. It's all fenced off. You got to go through a building, through another door to get to the swimming pool, and there's a fence around the pool. So they're not going to be doing that. Their landscapers ain't going to be traipsing in and out of those buildings. They're not going to do that. They do that here all the time. The newer areas, people don't notice it. And a lot of them even say, what's the big deal? Talk to me 2 years from now and tell me what the big deal is. I haven't been to our pool now, our neighborhood pool, for the adults, the 30 years and older, that I haven't been up there, I know, probably in 3 years. I used to go to that pool practically 2 and 3 times a week, every week. I haven't been there in 3 years. And that's where me and Rohan got into it. I said, why can't you keep these guys out of here? This is not a public pool. This is not a public restroom. You know, they got chemicals on their boots. Well, you guys heard the story. I don't want to go through it again. I'm rambling. But he's hated my guts ever since for divulging that. But I do get an email one. Here's where I start to feel a little bit better about my channel. Is every now and then, I'll get an email from somebody in a new area down there. Right now I'm getting email from people in the Finney area because they've been there a couple of years now, some even longer, and now they're starting to notice some of the things that jot their memory, like, where have I heard this before? And then they realize, it was on his channel. That's right, I'm talking about it. And so they'll send me an email saying, you know that thing you were talking about a few years ago about this or that, whatever it may be? Yeah, we're noticing that here too now a lot. What did you do to get rid of that? What did you do? And I tell them, I haven't gotten rid of it. Call Rohan's office. He's not doing his job. He's not forcing people to enforce the rules. We have rules that nobody wants to enforce. Well, then why have rules? Really, why have rules? Just say we don't have any district rules because nobody's going to enforce them anyway. I mean, I'm being cynical, I know, but seriously. And so he called me on the phone one day. He was mad as a hornet that I said he's not doing his job. Well, that's the way I see it. He's not doing his job. And he still ain't doing his job. Hey, John, $2? Is that $2? I can't hardly see that. Says, howdy, Skip. Thanks for $2, man. Appreciate it. Who's sitting in, Richard Sanders says, 90 going to 94 in McDonough, Hawaii. Am I saying that right? Is HA Hawaii? Or is that Ha? Children, right there. Yes, you ain't gonna see it. That golf cart right there. Children. Children driving it. They're coming back. Look, see, they don't know what they're doing. They're all over the place. The girl in the passenger seat is operating the steering wheel behind the driver, which is a kid sitting there. This is what I'm talking about. These are the things you see around here, and